Welcome to the Crochet Business School podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Thomas, and I'm going to help you to make your crochet business dreams a reality, stitch by stitch, without you being chained to your hook and being able to live that lifestyle you've been dreaming of using the power of your crochet. When we're thinking about starting our own crochet business, there's a lot of questions that run through our heads. Questions like, is my crochet good enough? How do I get started? Do I have enough time? And in this episode, I want to talk about the time issue. So, running a business does take time. And you know how long it takes you to crochet. It takes time. And so you do need at least some time every week that you can devote to this. I mean, modern lives are busy. We have families, we have commitments. You might be going to the day job 9 to 5, whether that's full-time or part-time. There's a lot going on. We have a lot of things that are demanding our attention, demanding our time. And what's left is the time you have for your business. But you also need to take time for yourself as well. Running a business, although it needs to be our passion, it is still work. So you do need to make time to make sure you can relax and unwind. And that's really important part of having a business, is having that time to switch off. So that shouldn't be underestimated. It is valuable time. So what time do you have left? And depending on what type of business you plan on running, depends on how much time you need. But if you're selling what you make, that is the most time-consuming way that you can run a crochet business, by far. I was reading a post on Facebook a little while ago, and it was a basically help me post from a lady who wanted to have her own crochet business. She wanted to run full-time, but she only had an hour a week to devote to her crochet. And she'd been using the hour to make stock for a craft fair. She'd been making stock for this craft fair for a year and still didn't feel that she had enough stock to go ahead. I mean, her devotion to her craft, her passion, her commitment to keep doing that for an entire year, I mean, hats off to her. But there does come a point where you have to say, that's never going to work. And the situation she was in is that it's never going to work. 1 hour a week when you are selling what you make is not nearly enough time. It just takes too long to crochet anything. Even a simple hat takes a couple of hours at a bare minimum, really. And to do that for a full year, I mean, it was a heartbreaking post to read, and my heart went out to her. But as much as you want this to happen, you do need a dose of realism in there. An hour a week for selling what you make is not enough. An hour a week if you are making your own patterns, yeah, you can do that. You might only get a couple of patterns out a year, but those patterns can make you money all the time. You sell the same thing over and over. That's possible. You could become a crochet blogger on an hour a week. It's going to be slow going, but you can get a blog post a month out. Could you do it being a YouTuber? Better. Pushing it on an hour a week. YouTube needs more videos than a couple a month. But not impossible. It depends on how you're spending that time. It depends on how you are making money from your crochet. Most people starting a crochet business automatically go to selling what they make. Maybe it hasn't crossed their minds that there are other ways. Maybe they don't have the confidence to think that they can do it, that it's possible for them. Maybe they think they need some kind of qualification or that it's not for people like them to try things like writing patterns or blogging. Maybe they have a fear of tech. And so most people starting a crochet business do start on selling what they make, but it's not the only way, and you don't have to do that. You do not have to start that way. If you have limited time and you are determined to make crochet your income, there are other ways. It's just having the confidence to do that. So if you're still determined to go ahead and sell the crochet that you make, how much time do you really need to make it work? How much time do you need to devote to this every week to see results that are worth your time? Well, I'd say you need the time to at least make one sale per week. What are you going to sell? And this is what it boils down to. What are you going to sell and how much time does it take you to make one? So if you're making rugs for a nursery, can you make one rug a week? Well, if not, can you make one every 2 weeks? You can put a higher price on something that's novelty. So if you're making really simple rugs, then I'd still say you need one a week. But if you're making one that's a real novelty and something that's truly unique, one every 2 weeks, I think you get away with that because you can put a higher price tag on that. If you are selling hats and scarf sets, can you make one set a week? Wedding favours. Now, you don't sell those singly. You usually sell those in bundles. So can you make one bundle a week of wedding favours? You do need time to make this work. You can easily limit the number of sales that you have available. And actually, when you have a limited supply, you can feed into this fear of missing out. Customers are more likely to buy from you if they think that what you have may not be available. So if you say, I only have one spot on my order book available this week, or 4 spots available this month, people are more likely to buy because of the fear of missing out. And so you can make this scarcity work for you. But it also requires you to have an honesty with your customers that you only have a limited number of spots and you simply cannot make more time. You can't make more spots available. It might be really tempting to take on more orders than you can deliver, but then you're going to have angry customers when you don't deliver. So you're going to have to be quite disciplined and let them know that there's a waiting list, that you only have a limited number of items available, and that no extra charges on this earth is going to change that. Of course, when it gets to a point that you are getting lots of demand, then you might see if you can drop some hours at the day job, or if you can negotiate your schedule so you can add more hours in. But that's a question that only you can answer when or if that's possible. But time and having enough of it is very specific to you. It's unique to your circumstances. And only you can know how much time you have every week to devote to your business. Treat it like a job, non-negotiable time. Actually put it into your diary, block it out, so that you will always have that time slot to spend on your crochet. And that will help you to see just how much time you have. It's amazing just how much time we do have. We have far more time than we realize if we really stop and think about it. And getting an hour to few day diary, you can start blocking out your time and see where you're spending it. And you might be surprised at how much free time there is in there. Just maybe doesn't feel like it's free time with the kids running around and the housework needing doing. But there might be more time than you think. But only you can decide how much time you're willing to devote to your dream of your crochet business. No one else can work that out for you. But I say if you can make at least one product per week, you can make that work. But I would encourage you to look at writing your own patterns or blogging, maybe YouTubing, as just a way to kind of bring more money in for your time. Because these can be much more lucrative revenue sources. And they certainly don't need as much time as selling what you make. When it comes to sucking your time up, selling what you make is the worst one. Because if you're not crocheting, you're not earning. But with patterns, blogs, videos, you can bring money in without having to crochet a thing. And that gives you more flexibility. Because, if you're out and about and say you're stuck waiting for the bus for 10 minutes, you can take out your phone and start making notes for your next blog post. Or you can start making notes for your YouTube channel. Or you can start doing some edits for your crochet pattern. If you're out and about and you don't have your crochet with you, you can't spend more time on selling what you make. There's more flexibility with the others. Selling what you make, it kind of chains you to your crochet. It chains you to your hooks. Now, I'm not taking away from those who do sell what they make full time. I mean, I'm actually in awe of that. I would find that very difficult to do. I did find it very difficult to do, which is why I stopped doing it. If you have the ability to sit there and crochet day in, day out, all day, every day, with other people dictating what you crochet and when, because it depends on what gets ordered, then hats off to you. I couldn't do that. I need more flexibility in what I crochet and when. And that's why I changed my business model. But it all boils down to, what do you want for your future? Do you want flexibility to be able to crochet what you want when you want, but also make money without having your hooks involved? Or are you determined to sell what you make? Your crochet business is unique to you. You do it your way. And how much time you have can feed into and dictate how that crochet business will form. Some things take more time than others. Some things take more skill than others. Some things need you to do a lot more learning than others. But no matter what you do, you are going to have to learn. Selling what you make is not just a case of making and then sell. You have to learn everything behind the art of selling. And there is an art behind it. You have to learn how to do that. Like, where you can sell, how do you get people to see it, how do you take all the pictures to get people's attention, how do you get found in search results? There is so much to learn, and if you can learn that, then you can learn what's behind blogging, crochet patterns, videos. These days, things are not techie. They're not nearly as techie as they used to be. You don't have to code. You don't have to use complicated editing apps. Everything I use is drag and drop, because if it had to go into coding, that's not going to happen. I'm not that way inclined. The software that we use to do all these things is now really easy. And so there's no tech barrier behind it. If you can work out how to set up a newsletter list, how to set up a social media account, how to set up an Etsy shop, you can do the rest of it. And anyone that tells you otherwise it's either the monkeys in your head making you scared, or it's people who are jealous and trying to keep you down. How you build your crochet business is up to you. How much time that you have to spend on it is going to dictate how long it's going to take you to make it work. The more time you have, the quicker you will see the results that you want. The less time you have, you're going to need patience. It's going to take a while. But there's no reason that you can't achieve this dream if you use your time effectively. So it's in your hands. How you wish to build this business is entirely in your hands, and only you can decide how to do that. So over in the Hooked on Success membership, I'm going to be giving some tips on getting started and how to really maximize your success when you first start out. If that's something you want to listen to, you can come and join us. Just click the link beneath the show notes or go to crochetbusinessschool.com/success and you can tune into the episode right now. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Crochet Business School podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes and please subscribe to wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Crochet Business School. Subscribe to the channels because I would love to hear from you and what you're up to in your own crochet business. If you have any questions about creating and growing your own crochet business, please send them my way and I'll answer them in future episodes. So thank you for joining me and I shall see you in the next episode. Bye for now.